Shalom Aleichem Rabbi. We're back with Hachzek, and we are moving along to Mishnah Tes Vav. Shammai Oimer Asei Teirascha Keva Emor Ma'at Asei Arbei Bevi Mekabel Skol Odom Seir Panim Yavos. Again, three eights. I want to read to you the Rashi before we get to the Rabbeinu Yoina. I want to read this Rashi. I have it underlined. I don't know when I underlined it. It's an unbelievable statement made by Rashi. Asei Teirascha Keva. So the normal, regular way is really the second shot in Rashi. Tikba lecha itim lilmoid b'chol yom arba prakim chamisha. But in the first shot, Rashi says a very interesting thing. He says, Shaloitei kiveh itim la Torah. Asei Torah keva, don't be kiveh itim to Torah. Don't make, Torah part of your schedule. Ela kol hayoim ta'asen olecha keva. Your whole day, Torah should be your kvias. That's what Asei Torah keva means. Very, very powerful statement and something to keep in mind. Unbelievable. And we can make it keva. Just because our schedule is multifaceted. Torah could be the keva, could be the ikr. We'll see. Now the Rabbeinu Yoina says, interesting, he brings Asei Torah keva, it's just complementing this word, I think, that we said in Rashi. K'moshe Amar ba'avos kol ha'oiseh Torah ikr u'malachto tefela. You make Torah the ikr and your malachat tefela, oisa noisa ikr lo'olam haba. You will now become ikr lo'olam haba. Aval oisa malachta ikr v'torasa tefela, but somebody does the opposite. Oisa noisa tefela lo'olam haba. Ratza loymar, says Rabbeinu Yoina. Im lo'yosa averis. You didn't do averis. You did mitzvahs. You zeicha to Gan Eden, but you didn't make Torah ikr. Afilim yiskal yes began Eden tafel yeshama. You will be tafel. I want to tell too an unbelievable vart that my children's menal in Yeshiva Even Yisrael put out mamish. I think it was the first year of the yeshiva, a bunch of years ago, at least the first year that we came to the yeshiva. It was Pesach. It was, it's got to be, it's a bunch of years ago. I don't remember, 7 or 8 years ago. But kids, we all know Klal Yisrael left Mitzrayim b'zchus shelo shinu shmam. L'shonim and Malbusham, right? They kept the Lashon HaKodesh. And that was a big schus for the Geula. And now the Mishnah Berurah says that even though you think that nowadays we talk English and we talk different languages, we still have the schus of Shaloshin L'shonim. And he brings a Merdika Maisa in Siman Kuf Aleph, Sifkat Nud Gimel. He says there was a terrible tragedy that happened in that time. There were certain groups of Klal Yisrael that tried to translate the Siddur and turn the entire davening into the spoken language. And he says sharper words over there. The Mishnah Berurah writes that their intentions were terrible, devious, and evil. They wanted to ensure that the Yidden would forget Lashon HaKodesh, and they would, take away the schus that they had of not changing their language. The lashon there is roitzim lashkiach lashon hakodesh misrael pen yigalu b'schus shel shinus lashonim. It's kedai to look at it inside. I definitely did see it at that time. So the Chavetz Chaim says that these were terrible people and they tried to take away the schus of geula from Klal Yisrael by translating the siddur. And nowadays that we daven out of a siddur with lashon hakodesh, this is a schus that we have, that we are betuchim, that we're going to be Zoicha to the Geula, because we're still shaykh to that amazing madrega of Klal Yisrael b'shas v'tzias Mitzrayim of Shaloi Shinu L'shonim. As I thought, the Chavetz Chaim. But it's a big pella. L'bais, it's a big pella. We are not talking Lashon HaKodesh all day. It's only a fraction of our day when we are engaging in this thing called Lashon HaKodesh. And here comes the Vart, and here comes what the Rabbeinu Yoina is saying. And a Pesach of sort of living our world, our reality, and still, maybe having a connection to these heilige words of Asei Torah Keva. The question is, what's Iker and what's Tafel? Right? Chazal say, Ma v'zeh Odom. Right? That's the famous Gemara in Bava Kama. And the Gemara says, why would you say Ma v'zeh Odom? Because im tivoyin ba'oyu, Omar Shomer, Osa boiker v'gam laila, im tivoyin ba'oyu. If you will be ba'a, if you will ask. It means that mave, which is the Adam is called a mave on the on the on the on the cheshbon that he's a boy, that he is a davener. The whole mitzias of a mensch is that he davens. I mean, only davens shachris mincha ma'ariv, But that's who you are. If we come to davening with a different outlook, and say, this is the ikar part of my day. This is the time where I'm standing oimid b'fnei melech. I'm asking for my trachim. This is really who I am. This is where I belong. This is my life. You make it ikar, even if it doesn't take up most of your day, even if it's not your spoken language. But this is my life. Then you are shaykh to geula. You are a maveh. You are a adam. You are a spitz adam. It's not all day, but that's who you are. That's where you resonate with, and that's, I think, the depth over here, possibly, of making terascha keva. You make it ikar, and then everything falls together into that yisod. Moiridik yisod. Continues the Mishnah. Continues Rabbeinu Yonah. Emor ma'ad v'asei harbei k'shetavtiach es chaver chalasos davar bavuroi davar. You can tell your friend, I'll take care of it. I'll make you a meal, whatever. I'll take care of it. Yeah. Emor ma'ad v'asei harbei. V'hu miderech hamusar v'chasidus. Chasidus. Okay? He's going to bring a raya from Avram Avinu. Chesed. Okay? V'lamadnu oizoi me'Avram Avinu. We learned this midas hachasidus from Avram Avinu. Olav Shalom. Sha'omar. Ve'ekcha pas lechem. I'll give you some bread. Come to my house, I'll give you some bread. Ve'achar what does it say? Ve'ikachema chalav u'bakar u'ben bakar. Amar ma'at ve'osa harbe. He did only a little bit. He said a little bit, but he did tons. Vehi midas elyonis. This is midah elyonis. This is the midah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that's the midah of Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu was a creator, a doer, and more ma'at va'asei harbei. Rabbi Seinu Zechronu L'Vracha lamdu me'HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They learned it from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Avram Avinu also learned it from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. By the way, we said that, I think, 1 or 2 shiurim ago. Shaloi yivtiach leb'shtei oisias. The Rebbeinu Shalom was maftiach to take Klal Yisrael out of Mitzrayim with 2 words. Shenemar don anoichi. V'gam es hagoy asher yavidu eschen don anoichi. U'ga'olam be'esrim b'shiva milois. And the geula happened with 27 words. 2 words. He said, I'm gonna punish them, and he was goyal us with 27 words. Shenemar oy hanisa v'goymer l'gachas l'goymer kerev goy ba'ois v'moivs, the whole pasuk over there. Amar ma'at. The Rebbeinu Shalom said a little bit, v'osa harbe, and he did a lot. This is all from the Avos Rabbi Nassim. V'alzeh Amar Rabbeinu Sadia Goyin. Rabbeinu Sadia Goyin says a moiridika, the energy and the tzipisa Yeshua of Klal Yisrael throughout the day is unbelievable. Look what Rabbeinu Sadia Goyin said. Im keshev diach avisein b'shtei oisiyos. The Rebbeinu Shalom was maftiach with 2 oisiyos back then. Also, lem kamanis v'niflois. He did so many. Ala geula, see the lavoi. Shenichtavu ba kama dapim, v'kama kundreisin, v'kama sfarim avtochos, v'kama nechamois, b'yirmiyah, Yeshaya, Yechezkel, She'ozer. Ala achaz kama v'kama kinifloim, you massive, v'nafsheni yadas moi. You can't fathom how amazing the geula is going to be. The geula, see, it's just not normal, because we have so many words talking about it. So it's only going to be a million times greater. A person should steig in this machshava, and you'll have a lot of schar from this bitochen. It's moiridik. You should be makabel each person b'sever panim yafos. It's very interesting that Shammai would say this. Very, very interesting. We all know the famous story in the Gemara. Again, food for thought. I don't know what to make of this, but I will say it anyway, because we're learning together. It's chavrusa. Right? The guy came to learn, the ger, right? He wanted to learn Kol HaTorah Kula B'regel Achas. He wanted to learn Kol HaTorah Kula, a famous Gemara, everybody knows. He went to Shammai, he kicked him out. He kicked him out of the house. Are you kidding me? I don't think he did it with a Sefer Panav Yafis. He just kicked him out of the house. And then he went to Hillel, and the story, everybody knows. But that same Hillel, that same Shammai, have Mekabel's Kol Adam Sefer Panav Yafis. Okay. Sheyara Lahem Panim Yafis Shel Simcha. This is a Moiridik Azog from the Rabbeinu Yoin over here. I love it. It's so amazing. Let's see what he says. Show a happy face so that people will be happy with you. Okay, that's the point. that you will have a shem tov ba'olam. Roid Saloimer, Shisrachik Midas Hakas. Stay away from Kas, Shehi Midaro Ad Me'oid. V'anig Atzmoi B'midas Harotzen. If you ever wanted to know what the opposite of Kas was, right? I always thought, I think it works out anyway, but Kas Oy Savlonus, Rav Olba has a whole, Vadim, a whole section of Vadim on Kas, and the question is Kas Oy Savlonus. The opposite of Kas is Savlonus. But over here it sounds like, and I think also you find it in the Orchos Tzadikim, that's the way it works. He speaks about Kas, and then the next chapter is Rotzen. You have to understand what Rotzen means. You have Ritui. It's the opposite of Kas. It's a little bit of a Chiddush, and I'm sure there's what to work on over there. But it's something to keep in mind. Think about that, okay? Yanig Atzmei B'midas HaRotzen Al Derech Shiyu Merutzim Mimenu B'nei Adam. What does Ratzon mean? You want people to be fond of you. That's what you want. That's the goal. Mida na'a kubeles. This is a beautiful mida and accepted. This is very interesting. Very interesting. Like like one of those the Havdil Elif Alfi Havdalas, like a Dale Carnegie type of statement, statement. Are you interested? Do you want people to love you? So then love what you don't love, right? Similar, like hope for the best and expect the worst type of thing. Same idea. Like one of these one-liners that, you can tracht, you can think about. You want to love, you want to be loved. Love what you don't love. Amazing. It come out an impossible feat that you should gain everybody's love and respect for you. You have to learn to love them, even though you don't like them, or be soivel them. Soivel, look here. Okay, it doesn't say the word soivel, but you have to be soivel other people. And be mevatel your chfetzim, your chfotzim, b'fnei ritzonim. Okay, and then that way, people will say, oh wow, this guy's giving me the time of day, or he's being soivel me, and then you're gaining their appreciation. That's gewaldig. Nobody's going to want to harm you, right? Because they all love you. Ki amar lem panim shel zam. Somebody who shows angry face, angry attitude towards people are just not going to like you. They're going to chepper you. They're going to want to chepper you. You see this with kids all the time. When you have a kid that's like a little bit of a, always a sour kid and stuff like that. Kids, his own siblings, they like to chepper him. They just enjoy cheppering him. So be in a better mood. Get yourself into a better mood. Or if you can't get into a better mood, go to your room. Lock yourself in the room. And, wait until you can come out and just be a pleasure to be around. When you're a pleasure to be around, people like you, they like to laugh with you. And when you're like all sour-faced and stuff like that, it's just, people just don't want to be next to you. And if they do, and they're just going to want to chepper you because they know that it bothers you. So, Eitz Tova Kamash Malon. Heaven Mekabel, Kol Odom Saver, Panim Yafis. Have a nice day. Kol Tu.